You know, most of the time on social media, everybody posts the great things they're doing or the wins they had, and you don't always see the fails. I think it's really important for people to see the failures because it humanizes you and it also makes you realize that you're not alone. So here is a massive fail for me. Enjoy. Brace yourself, this is a long one. It was time to restock my pine tar soap. And I did as I always do. I split the oils in half. I add the pine tar to one half the oils and then any other additives and the lye to the other half. It was all going fine until right around this point where I realized that the first half was a little thicker than usual. But I am stubborn, so I got my mold ready and I decided to proceed. I added the half with the pine tar into the half with the lye. And I am hand mixing here, and I think I'm doing pretty good at this point. Until right about now, where you can see it's getting really thick and yet is not fully blended yet. I'm trying to power through it, but it got really thick. So I decided to add some heat to it to loosen things up a little bit. And it worked to a certain extent. It got loose on the bottom, but the top wasn't getting there. So I thought maybe putting it in a bigger container would spread it out a little more, and then I could smoosh it all together and then put it back on the heat. And after some pushing around, it seemed like this might be a good idea and would work. While that was on the heat, I decided to proceed with my second batch and proceed more carefully. But batch number 2 wasn't playing and it got thick really fast. Now, I've never had this many problems with my pine tar soap in the past, and I was really confused at this point. Here you can see it's not even fully mixed either. So then I thought I would just put it in my crock pot and do a hot process / rebatch. And after messing with that for at least an hour, I went to smush it into the molds. At this point, I'm thinking it's ugly, but at least it's usable. And in my head, I'm thinking I can just sell it as really ugly pine tar soap that still works great. And that is the only reason I continued on. Here you can see just how disastrous it really looks. I was still thinking this was usable all the way up until I cut it. At first glance, you just think it's really ugly and spotty looking. But as I went on, I realized that the white spots in the soap are actually lye heavy. And that's because that was the half of the oils that I put the lye into, and it didn't get fully mixed. So now I have 10 pounds of unusable soap. So you guys tell me, should I shred it down and rebatch it and make it usable, or just throw it out?